everybody, it's Seth, your Mild Mannered Mage, and we are back with another episode of Breaking Boxes, and today we are continuing our harrowing journey through Duskmourn, the House of Horrors. So earlier we have posted our pre-release kit, and today we are going to be busting through this play booster box of goodness. Now, with the purchase of the play booster box, we also have received a buy a box promo of the Twitching Doll, which is a terrifying new mana dork, green and 1 for a 2/2 spider toy. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color, put a nest counter on Twitching Doll, and then you can sack Twitching Doll to create a 2/2 green spider creature token with reach for each counter on Twitching Doll. Activate only as a sorcery. And as you can see in the artwork here, the Twitching Doll is made of spiders. And then I was, when I was opening my pre-release kit, one of the tokens that I got was this creepy little fella, which is the 2/2 spider with reach that is made by the Nesting Doll. So that is, that's the mana dork with the token, and those are kind of terrifying. But I really like the mana dork. I like the doll. It does cost the 2 mana, but it gives you a 2/2 body. It's making you mana. It's giving you a counter. It is a nesting counter, so it's not making the dork bigger. And then you can sack it to get a lot of bodies that you can block with, that you can attack with, and then depending on the different effects that you have on your field, you might be able to get more tokens or make them bigger themselves. I mean, there's lots and lots of things that you could do with this. I'm thinking about, you could put this in, I have a Vorinclex Monstrous Raider. It doubles counters. I don't think it, does it matter about 1/1 counter? Is it just counters or 1/1 counters? I'd have to look at it, but that might double nesting counters. So I'd have to look at the rules on Vorinclex, but so that is kind of fun. But all right, let us get into this box of goodness here. All right, well, if I can do this without a knife, and I can. Okay, here we go. Getting all the plastic off. And let's see what we got in our play booster box. Got our normal insert here. And then we have our stacks, and we'll put stack number 1 right there, stack number 2 right there, and then this last stack of cards we will fan out right here. All right, and when we come back, we will start cracking the packs. And we are back with this next episode of Breaking Boxes, and we are back on the plane of Duskmourn, the haunted house of Magic the Gathering. So we are deep into pre-release, hoping that everybody is having a great pre-release season, hoping that you are getting all the cards that you're wanting. I've already gotten one of the new haunts, the green one that makes the Everywhere land. We found the Wandering Emperor, so lots of great cards have already been discovered. Check out episode 36 of Breaking Boxes if you want to see what I pulled in my pre-release kit. Alright, and without further ado, let's start getting into this. Alright. right, and then we're right off the bat with some lock tokens that goes with the new enchantment rooms. Our foil is a fear of being hunted. And we're starting it off with a Leyline of the Void. If it's in your opening hand, you may begin with it on the battlefield. If a card will be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Then we have a Betrayer's Bargain, Trial of Agony, Paranormal Analyst, and a Growing Dread. Now I think that is commons right there. And then here are our commons. So that is a pretty good ley line. We got some more ley lines that are being introduced in this set, so maybe we'll see some of the new ley lines. We get a spirit token, vanish from sight as a foil, and an abandoned campground as our land. And then our first rare in this pack, Wooburg for Mariana Vandrel. 3/5. When she enters, reveal the top 7 cards of your library. Put all enchantment cards from among them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Tap her to lock or unlock a door of target room you control. Activate as a sorcery. So that could be interesting with all the room enchantments, and also she could be combined with the new Amantau commander deck, taking it from an Esper deck into a Wooburg deck. So that could be interesting. And we'll put her right there. Wickerfolk Thresher, Patchwork Beastie, and a Popular Egotist, and Fear of the Infinity are our uncommons. And then here are our commons. Moving right along through these. And we'll just put that one off to the side. Move that over here. Fear of Immobility as our foil. Swamp. One of the new Czech lands. Flood Farm Verge. Taps for a white, and then we'll tap for a blue if you control an island. And then this is a multi-pack, so we're getting multiple rares in this pack. So we've got an Omnivorous Flytrap. This is a plant, green and 2, for a 2/4 Delirium. Whenever Omnivorous Flytrap enters or attacks, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, distribute 2 1/1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures. Then, if there are 6 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, double the number of 1/1 counters on those creatures. That's kind of interesting. That could be fun in... honestly, in my Vorinclex deck, that deals a lot with counters. I built a Necrobloom deck that deals with plant tokens. That could also be fun because it has the dredge mechanic in it. So that's kind of interesting. Vengeful Possession, Get Out, Beastie Beatdown is our uncommons into our commons. All right. We have an insect token into a Creeping Peeper, a foil land this time, and another Omnivorous Flytrap. So same thing that we just saw, but in just different artwork. Then we got Oblivious Bookworm, Sporadic Infection, Flood Pit's Drowner as our uncommons. So not hitting a whole lot in terms of multi-rare packs. We've only hit the one so far, so maybe we'll hit some more later on. We also haven't seen any mythics yet. Alright, Ghost Vacuum. This is a really good artifact. 1 mana artifact. Tap it, exile target card from a graveyard. So this can really be useful to target your opponent's graveyards, be able to get some of those problematic creatures gone for good. And then you can pay 6 to tap it to exile Ghost Vacuum, and then put each creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control with a flying counter, but they also become 1/1 spirits in addition to their other types. So not only are you getting rid of some problematic creatures, but then you can later on bring them back under your control. Even though this is a uncommon, I like this one. Altanic the Thrice Called. It's very reminiscent of Beetlejuice, when we just had the Beetlejuice movie come out. When the Thrice Called becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. Pay 2 to discard it, return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And then there's another card that deals with, I believe, Altanac the Thrice Called as well. Let's get these separated a little bit more so we're not crowding. Daggergall Megalodon as our foil. And then we got Marina Vendrell's Grimoire. When it enters, if you cast it, draw 5 cards. You have no maximum hand size and don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. Whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. That's pretty nice. And whenever you lose life, discard that many cards. Then if you have no cards in hand, you lose the game. So that's kind of interesting. Prevents you from losing the game for not having life, and then your life is tied to the size of your hand. So that's kind of fun. Defiant Survivor, Withering Torment, Dashing Bloodsucker, Disturbing Mirth as our uncommons. That's a creepy treasure token. Bear Trap as our foil. Bleeding Woods. These are kind of interesting lands. They enter tapped unless a player has 13 or less life. And here we have our first mythic of this box. Overlord of the Belmerk. Enchantment creature, Avatar Horror. Impending 5 for black and 1. So you cast it for its impending cost, and it comes in with 5 time counters, and then you remove it a time counter at the end, at your end step. So it comes in and it sits on your battlefield as a enchantment with the 5 time counters, and then when the last one is removed, then it becomes a creature. When it enters or attacks mill 4, then you may return a non-avatar creature card or a planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. So that is that's pretty nice. Good recursion card right there. House Cartographer, Saul, Savior of the Small, and a Ghostly Key Bearer for our uncommon cards. I already got the green Overlord, so hopefully we can hit the other 3. Alright, so we have our first room as a rare, Dazzling Theater and the Prop Room. So you can cast it for either side, and then as it's on the battlefield, you can pay the cost of the other side that's locked to get access to it. So Dazzling Theater, creature spells you you cast have Convoke. And then Prop Room, untap each creature you control during each other player's untap step. So I would probably cast it for the Prop Room first, and then maybe get the Dazzling Theater, or you could get the Dazzling Theater out to give your creature spells Convoke, and then later on do the Prop Room. And then Betrayer's Bargain, Under the Skin, Orphans of the Weak, Callback to Children of the Corn, and a Wildfire Wickerfolk, and Grand Entryway Elegant Rotunda as our uncommons. 4 more packs in this set, or this stack. Valgoth's Onslaught, green and 2x, manifest dread X times, and then put X/1/1 counters on each of those creatures. So that lets you manifest dread. You look at the top 2, put 1 in the graveyard, and then you manifest the other one. And you can do that X times. Then Haunted Screen, Unwanted Remake, Unwilling Vessel, Midnight Mayhem as your uncommons. Kona Rescue Beastie. Green and 3 at the beginning of your second main phase. If Kona is tapped, put a permanent from your hand onto the battlefield. So, like we talked about with the pre-release kit, if you have ways of just tapping him without actually attacking so that you can get that trigger, that would be fantastic. Rip Spawn Hunter. Green, white, and 2 for a 4/4 legendary human survivor. At the beginning of your second main phase, if he's tapped, reveal the top X cards of your library where X is its power, and then put any number of creature or vehicle cards with different powers from among them into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. That seems like a good way to go through your deck in Selesnya and get some big things out. Grand Entryway Rotunda is our foil. Oh, and then here's a mythic Dollmaker Shop and Porcelain Gallery as a room. Whenever one or more non-toy creatures you control attack, create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. And then Porcelain Gallery, creatures you control have base power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. So for a token deck, this makes everything pretty stupidly large, and I am here for it. And this last pack from this stack of, I can't remember how many now. They keep changing how many are in there. Nashi, Searcher in the Dark, Demir, Menace, 2/2 Rat Ninja, Wizard. When Nashi, Searcher in the Dark, deals combat damage to a player, you mill that many cards. You may put any number of legendary or enchantment cards from among them into your hand. If you put no cards into your hand this way, put a 1/1 counter on Nashi. So that's pretty good. I like that. Make her a little bit bigger so that she can go through your deck. You can get some counters on her. She might pair well with the new Amanatu Commander deck. So that might be an addition to that set, to that deck right there. All right, and that is our first stack in this Play Booster box of Duskmourn, the House of Horror. And we have already hit 2 mythic rares in our set. So we have one of the Avatar Horrors and one of the Runes. So we've got Overlord of the Belmerk and the Dollmaker Shop Porcelain Gallery. So what other goodies are we going to find as we continue to explore this haunted house? Keep watching and we'll find out. We'll see you after the break. And we are back with part 2 of our journey into Duskmourn, the House of Horror. I'm Seth, your mild-mannered mage, and your guide through this haunted expedition. And we have our next stack of Duskmourn Play Booster packs that we are going to be getting into. And without further ado, let's do just that. All right. Creepy treasure card for the win. Into a foil, plains, and another wandering rescuer. So this is, if you are keeping count in the shorts and the breaking boxes episodes, this is my 3rd wandering rescuer that I have pulled. My 2nd non-foil. And I have pulled another foil. The foiling on this particular artwork is really cool. And actually, I will grab it for you just so that you can see. But what they have done with this set of foils is the ghostly apparition is foil and the character is non-foil. So here is the non-foil, and then here is the foil. And you can see the ghost on the card is foil, and the Wanderer is non-foil. And it makes this really cool effect to make the ghost look otherworldly. So it just kind of makes a really neat effect. And then just to kind of, not to show off or anything, but just so that y'all can see, where is it? Again, my 3rd wandering rescuer from this set. I don't know if Duskmourn is trying to tell me something, or if I need to do something with the wandering rescuer. But, you know, pulling 3 of the same mythic is kind of hilarious. If I pull another one from this set, I mean, what are the chances of doing that? So that is, to me, that's pretty hilarious. Oh, and then here is the Mind Skinner, which is another card that I have been really interested in getting my hands on. 3 blue pips for a 10/1 legendary enchantment Nightmare. Cannot be blocked, so you can play this turn 3. If this is your commander, which, as I've said before, commander is my jam. If you play this as your commander, this is a Jeweled Lotus turn 1 commander, swinging for 10 turn 1. But what is funny is, if a source you control would deal damage to an opponent, prevent that damage and each opponent mills that many cards. And I am a sucker for a mill deck, because when I first learned Commander over a decade ago, we're probably looking at 11 years now, playing kind of, I guess, a version of Modern. I don't even know what we were playing back then, but the guy that taught me, we built a janky mill deck for me to learn to play. So I cut my teeth on mill. So I heavily respect mill. And if players want to play mill against me, I don't get mad. I heavily respect mill. So when I saw this, I was like, what can we do with this? So I'm excited to have pulled this particular card and to try to think about what we can do with it. So that's pretty exciting. And then that gets into our commons and our uncommons. All right. Here we have our art card. Glimmerlight. Land. The Swarm Weaver. Green, black, and 2 legendary artifact Scarecrow. When it enters, create 2 1/1 black insect creature tokens with flying. As long as there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, insects and spiders you control get +1/+1 and have the death touch. Now, I've said it before, there are a lot of scarecrows in this set, and I kind of understand because it is a horror themed set, and the scarecrows in Magic are always pretty scary looking. I mean, scarecrows are primarily found in Innistrad, and there was another set, I can't remember where they were from, but I had a pretty gnarly Reaper King deck, and that was actually the first commander deck that I built. And talk about toxicity. Reaper King is a toxic commander. If you've never read Reaper King, I'll try to throw it up right about here for you to read it. Reaper King is a 5-color legendary artifact creature scarecrow. Wooburg, or you can pay 2 colorless in a replacement of each color, so it's either 5 color or up to 10 colorless mana. And other scarecrows you control get +1/+1. Nobody cares about that. The static effect is great, but it's when another scarecrow enters the battlefield under your control, then destroy target. You get to destroy target permanent. And that's where things get janky. And so you're just playing basically tribal scarecrows, and you're just blowing up everybody's stuff. So it's pretty terrible. And if y'all will hang on one second, I've got to go get an orange boy who doesn't know when to not try to chew on cardboard boxes, because that's all he knows how to do. Okay, so he has stopped. Now, the only one thing about these room sideways cards is being able to tell if they are I'm blind, y'all. I wear glasses. As you've probably seen in some of the selfie pictures that I have, the few and far between selfies pictures and some of the videos from Arena Antics, and my prescription is so strong I can see into the future, and sometimes these symbols on here, it's hard for me to tell what color it is. So it looks like it is a rare, but that symbol is tiny. And it's hard to tell if it is gold or silver, but I think it is gold. So I'm gonna. Oh yeah, it's got the little thing here, so that is a rare. So restricted office, lecture hall, another enchantment room. A restricted office, 2 white and 2. When you unlock this door, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. And then lecture hall, 2 blue and 5. Other permanents you control have hexproof. That's a pretty fun enchantment. Alright, let me go back and get this boy who doesn't know when to stop. Alright, come here, Finn. you are going to have to go into timeout. Sorry to do this while I'm recording. Here is an orange boy for your viewing pleasure. He likes to chew on things, and he's got a lot of kitten in him still. Say hi, Finn. And he... Oh, there we go. Hi, Finn. Okay, so let me toss him out. And out. Unfortunately, the plains animals, they don't understand the concept of, hey, you're recording right now. All right. And there we go. Those are our commons. Next pack. Oh, now here is a fun... I've already pulled Tyvar the Pummeler, but here is a nice art on him. Again, this is the similar art as to that Wandering Rescuer, where he is one solid color, no foiling, and then the Ghostly Apparition has the foiling, and it makes a beautiful, beautiful artwork on that. So Tyvar the Pummeler, 2 green and 1. Tap another untapped creature you control. Tyvar gains indestructible until end of turn and tapping. Pay 2 green and 3. Creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. The only downside to this is it doesn't give anything trample, which I think would really make this OP, and that's probably why he doesn't do it. So... Another one of those fun 13 lifelands. Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber. Unholy Annex, black and 2. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. If you control a demon, each opponent loses 2 and you gain 2. Otherwise, you lose 2 life. And then Ritual Chamber, 2 black and 3. When you unlock this door, create a 6/6 black demon creature token with flying. And then the return of Norin, the Swift Survivalist. And that, I think, is going to be all of our commons. All right. Oblivious Bookworm is our foil. Mountain into an Enduring Tenacity. 2 black and 2 for a Snake Glimmer. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. That sounds like one of those other enchantments. So this is just giving you another option for those Drain and Gain decks. When Enduring Tenacity dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment. Really like these Glimmer creatures because it comes in as an enchantment creature and then comes back as just an enchantment. So gives you a way to recur it to the battlefield for another round of it. Makes it a little bit harder to get rid of. And then when it does finally die and is in the graveyard, you do have a couple of more options to get it back. Oh, and we have hit the big bad for this set, Valgavoth, the Terror Eater. 3 black and 6 for a 9/9 Elder Demon. Flying life link, ward, sack 3 non-land permanents. That is tough. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you exile it. So that's Leyline of a Void on a stick. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Valgavoth. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. So that's like Crick. So I mean, he is just terrifying. So that is that's a fantastic hit. I can see some terrifying decks being built with him. All right, and we are about halfway done with this stack. And then we've got a Peer Past the Veil as our foil rare. Discard your hand, then draw X cards, where X is the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. Gruul and 2. And then a Head Shredder, which I'm looking forward to putting into my Necrobloom deck. When it attacks, you may mill 2 cards. Whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put them onto the battlefield tap. Necrobloom has Dredge 2, so that'll be good. And then just Crew 1. So I think this will be a good add to the Necrobloom. Or Necroblossom. I can never remember which one it is. But basically the Field of the Dead as a plant from Modern Horizons 3. Even if I never crew that, I think just the static ability is fantastic. Glassworks as our foil. That is not a rare. And then we have Central Elevator and Promising Stairs as our rare here. Central Elevator, when you unlock this door, search your library for a room card that doesn't have the same name as a room you control. Reveal it and put it into your hand. And then Promising Stairs, blue and 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. You win the game if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked doors of rooms you control. So that's an alternate win con. So that's pretty neat. So you could play rooms to win. But you gotta have lots of rooms. And I think there is a room commander that is in Wooburg. And I want to say she searches for rooms. Did I pull her in this one? I'll have to look. Ooh, and here is the really good find. Come Back Wrong. Black and 2. Destroy target creature. If a creature card is put into a graveyard this way, return it to the battlefield under your control. Sack it at the beginning of your next end step. So what this does is it allows you to steal a person's commander, because even though you are destroying the target creature, it still hits the graveyard, and then from the graveyard it gets redirected to the command zone. So this, once it hits the graveyard, allows you to get it before it gets redirected. So that's kind of fun. Another good land. The new Czech lands. So this one is Thornspire Verge. Add a red. And then if you have a mountain or forest, you can add a green. So we are hitting lots of great cards in this set so far. Alright, and 4 packs remain. Would still like to see some more of those new Avatar horrors. I don't know, I've hit a lot of mythics so far. So, foil, Twitching Doll. Here's the original art. You know, we showcased the Twitching Doll promo card, the buy box promo at the beginning. Here is the promo. Here's the original. I feel like the original is a little creepier, though. But they're both filled with spiders. That's the bad thing. They're filled with spiders. And they will continue to fill with spiders. And the spiders are creepy. They have eyes. Why do they have eyes like this? Tell me. Why? Why? Okay. All right. And then that is it for this pack. 3 more packs. Unidentified hover ship, so that sounds like a UFO. 2 white and 1. When it enters the exile up to 1 target creature with toughness 5 or less. When it leaves, the exile card owner's manifests dread, and you get to crew 1. Okay. So that lets you get rid of a card. Alright, 2 packs remaining. There we go. Another creepy ass spider. Ooh, the new enchantment lair, Valgavoth's Lair. Enchantment land, hexproof, so it can't be targeted by your opponents. But this is bad because, you know, destroy all enchantments or exile all enchantments. This is going to target your land. Enters tapped. You get to choose a color, and it becomes that color. So I think this has got a lot of versatility, but you got to watch out for that mass enchantment removal, and it is in the foils. Another Glimmer, Enduring Curiosity. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. Whenever it dies, return it to, if it's a creature, return it to the battlefield as an enchantment. Very nice. And that is this pack. And we are now in our last pack of this stack of play boosters. Let's see what we got. Here is a cute cuddly gremlin token. Rootwise Survivor for our foil Lakeside Shack. And here is our lone planeswalker of the set, Kato, Bane of Nightmares. Blue, black, and 2 ninjutsu, which I think is pretty interesting on a planeswalker. During your turn, as long as Kato has 1 or more loyalty counters on him, he is a 3/4 ninja creature token and has the hexproof. +1 you get an emblem with ninjas you control get +1/+1, so you can continually stack those emblems, and emblems don't go away. The only way to remove the emblems, remove the player. 0 Surveil 2, draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn, and then -2, tap target creature, put 2 stun counters on it. That is a fantastic hit, ladies and gentlemen. And that, as they say, is that stack of play boosters. So I certainly appreciate y'all hanging out with me as we open up this pack of play boosters from this box of Duskmourn, the House of Horror. As a thank you, here are a couple of arena codes. Ooh, let me get these a little closer. There we go. As we do this, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can know when new videos drop, and you can pick up these fun Magic the Gathering arena codes for your enjoyment. And these are, I believe, for Duskmourn? I think so. So that should be good. We'll leave these up for another minute. Is that a little bit better? Well, hang on. There we go. Okay, there's that one. And then there's that one. I don't know why they weren't, like, focusing, but just making sure you all get them. Again, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe below. When we come back, we are on our last stack of play boosters for Duskmourn, the House of Hollows, the House of Horror. These are all the play boosters that I have left to go through. What is left to get? We would still love to see some more of those new Overseers? But the new impending creatures, I think they're avatars. Love to see those, some more of those. I've got a green one, I've got the black one. I'd still love to see the white, the blue, and the red one. We've got our Planeswalker. We've got Valgavoth. We've got 3 Emperors now. We've got Tyvar. So, what else are we going to pull? Hang around and find out. We'll see ya after this break. And we are back with our third and final part of Duskmourn, the House of Horror. I'm Seth, your Mild Mannered Mage, and let's get into this final stack of play booster packs and see what sort of goodness we can get. Oh, and we've got another ley line, so we've hit 2 of the ley lines this go round. Ley line of transformation. Again, like any ley line, if it's in your opening hand, you can begin with it on the battlefield. When it enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other types. The same is true for creatures you control and creatures cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Okay. Interesting. And that is our only rare for this pack. Pack number 2. Foil land. Now here is a room that I've been wanting to get for my Prosper deck. Charred Foyer and Warped Space. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn, which is great for Prosper because he wants to exile cards. And then Warped Space. Once each turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast from exile, which that gives me a free spell in Prosper every turn. So I think that is a pretty good deal. The problem is that I'm running into with my Prosper deck is that it's pretty well tuned at this point. So it's like, what do I pull out? And we've got another creepy spider. And here we have a foil saga, The Tale of Tamio, blue and 2. Chapters 1, 2, and 3 mill 2 cards. If 2 cards that share a card type were milled this way, draw a card and repeat this process. And then chapter 4, exile any number of target instant sorcery and or Tamio planeswalker cards from your graveyard. Copy them and you may cast any number of the copies. So that is a foil rare saga. So that's pretty nice. Land, and then we also have Roaring Furnace and Steaming Sauna. Roaring Furnace for red and 1. When you unlock this door, this room deals damage equal to the number of cards in your hand to target creature and opponent controls. And then Steaming Sauna, you have no max hand size. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. That'll be good. I mean, this is in Izzet colors, so you're playing wheels more than likely. That would be a great one just to get rid of a big threat on the board. Be nice if it said target player as well, but you know, can't make it too overpowered. Next pack. Art card. Foil. Land. Hauntwood's Shrieker, a beast mutant, 2 green and 1 for a 3/3. When it attacks, manifests dread. So we're going to look at the top 2 cards of your library. One goes onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature, and the other into the graveyard. And you can turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature card. And then you can pay a green and a 2 to reveal a target face down permanent. If it's a creature card, you may turn it face up, so you can reduce the cost, basically, of your Manifest Dread down to 2 instead of its mana cost. So that's pretty good. I like that for a Manifest Dread deck. So we're hitting lots of great mythics in this set so far. Had to check to see if that one was a common or not. Again, like I said earlier, these eyes ain't what they used to be, folks. Cute little gremlin. Zamon, the all-questioning green Blue and 1 for a human wizard. At the beginning of your end step, if a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn, and you control a prime number of lands, create Primo, the Indivisible, a legendary 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, then put that many 1/1 counters on it. And then it does give you a list of prime numbers, so that's pretty funny. Then we also have the Fear of Missing Out. Red and 1 for a Nightmare Enchantment creature. When it enters, discard a card, then draw a card, and then it has Delirium. When it attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, untap target creature, and you get an additional combat phase this turn. I have a friend, what is that Baldur's Gate creature? Carrick, I think. That goes for multiple combat phases. I think he's going to put that in his deck. If he's not, I'm going to ask him about it and see if he's going to do it. I hate to give him ideas, but... Then we have the Dollmaker Shop Porcelain Gallery. I think we've already drawn this one. White and 1 for Dollmaker Shop. Whenever one or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, make a 1/1 white toy. And then for 2 white and 4 for Porcelain Gallery, creatures you control have base power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. I just made a Phineas Archer deck from Bloomborough, which is a token deck, and I'm thinking I might put that in there just to be kind of stupid. It'll be funny. I have a odd sense of humor anyway. So we'll see if that will do it. Why did I put those in there? Because those are my foils. Okay. Foil. Land. We got another Overlord of the Hauntwoods. 2 green and 3 for an Avatar Horror with Impending 4. You can cast it for Impending 4 for 2 green and 1 for a 6/5. Impending 4, it comes in with 4 time counters that you can remove one at the beginning of your end step. When it comes in or attacks, you make a tapped colorless land called Everywhere that is every basic land type. So this can help with some mana fixing. I really like this card. Would like to have seen another of the Overlords, but I feel like that is a good hit. I think he's going to be the one to find. I could be wrong, just my opinion. Ooh, cute little glimmer. Our Furl land. Another one of these check lands, Hushwood Verge. Taps for a green, and then if you have a forest or a plains, it adds a white. Alright, and we have really blown through this second set, or this third set of cards. We only have 4 left. So let's get into them. There's our land here. Oh, another of the Hushwood Verge, but in the fancier art. That's pretty nice. And then Oblivious Bookworm. Alright, and then nothing. That's all of our commons. Third pack, another Norrin. Land. Grievous Wounds, 2 black and 3. Enchanted player can't gain life. Whenever enchanted player is dealt damage, they lose half their life rounded up. That's pretty harsh, man. Put that on your biggest threat of the table or the power player. Yeah. Get them out of the game quick. And next to the last pack, something good. Here's our rare. Here's our swamp. Oh, and then here is that same Prosper enchantment, but in the in the awesome art for it. I really like that art. This is the one that I want to put in Prosper. That's it right there. I like that. All right. And then we've got a Toby Beastie Befriender. This was our promo card from the pre-release kit. Check out our pre-release kit box opening. I think that was episode 36. We're on 37 now. When Toby Beastie Befriender enters, create a 4/4 white beast creature token with this creature can't attack or block alone. As long as you control 4 more creature tokens you control have the flying. This would probably also be good in that Phineas Archer deck that I've been kind of tinkering around with, or really any token generating deck. And the final pack, here it is, of Duskmourn, the House of Horror. Let's see what we got. We've got a Glimmer, Fear of the Dark, a Foil Swamp, the Bestest Boy, Enduring Courage, Dog Glimmer. When another creature you control enters, it gets +2/+0 and has the Hostes. When it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its control. It is an enchantment. And then that is it. That is our last rare for this set. All right, and then here are all of our commons here. And there we go. So what do we think of everything that we got today? So here are some things that I'm excited about. Again, really excited about this Charred Foyer to go in Prosper. Haunt of the Overlord of the Haunt Woods, I think, is a big hit. Scoring 2 of those in this set. I think this Planeswalker is interesting. I want to tinker around with him. I really like this land. What else was something good? This Head Shredder, I think, is going to be good in my Necrobloom deck. Oh, Valgavoth. I've got to figure out something awesome to do with him. I really like this Mind Skinner. That makes me want to rebuild a mill deck. Here's our other Overlord of the Belmerk. And I do like this Kona Beastie Rescuer, or Rescue Beastie. So we got some really awesome things, I think, in this set. What are some things that you have pulled that have been fantastic? What are you excited about to build from Duskmourn House of Horror? You know, we are just now coming out of the pre-release season for this set. So we'll be in Duskmourn for a while, and we're going to see some awesome decks coming out of this. As always, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me during this video. As a thank you, here is another arena code for you. Let me get this in a good position. There you go. And then, in fact, here is another arena code for your gaming pleasure. And I just ask in return if you would just give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe to this channel, turn on your bells so that you know when the next video drops. Once again, I'm Seth, your Mild Mannered Mage, wishing everybody some happy magicking. We'll see you on the next video, and y'all have a great one.